This is the News 4 Rundown.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the News 4 Rundown. I'm Sean Yancey. It is Tuesday, January 13th, and here's a look at some of the stories we're following tonight. Olympic anticipation. We're going to take you to Lake Placid, New York, the home of tons of Team USA history. Our own Tommy McFly is there tonight trying his hand at hockey with an Olympic gold medalist. Plus, in the coming days, we could see some winter weather here in our region. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Amelia Draper is tracking our chances for snow. And then, in the wake of increased ice activity across the nation and here at home, lawmakers in Montgomery County, Maryland are working on a bill to protect their residents. We'll have more on this proposed legislation and the backlash it's receiving. But we begin tonight with the latest developments from the first day of testimony in the trial of Brendan Banfield. He's the Northern Virginia man accused of killing his wife and another man inside their home. Today in court, prosecutors questioned the family's au pair. She's the woman who they say helped Banfield with the murders. Today, she explained her role in the alleged plot to help her former boss kill his wife. Northern Virginia Bureau reporter Drew Wilder was in the courtroom and has the latest.
Powerful testimony here on the first day of evidence at the au pair affair trial. The au pair herself, Juliana Perez-Miguelez, taking the witness stand late this afternoon and starting to lay out what she calls an elaborate mastermind murder plot that she claims was concocted by the family's husband and father, Brendan Banfield. Before we get into some of the allegations, I want you to look at this video as Juliana Perez-Miguelez entered the courtroom today. You can see she never bats an eye at Brendan, but he has his eyes deadlocked on her as she makes her way up to the witness stand. These two confess that they were having a sexual affair inside the family's home behind the wife's back for months leading up to the killings that happened inside the home. When Juliana was on the stand today, she claims that it was Brendan that wanted to take Christine out of the picture. She testified that it was Brendan who came up with the plan to use a BDSM fetish website pretending to be Christine, to lure somebody over to the home with a knife to perform a kinky rape scene with Christine. She claims that it was Brendan's idea to sneak inside the home and use the gun that you're seeing on the screen right now to shoot and kill the man they invited over, Joseph Ryan. And she claims that then Brendan took this knife from Joseph Ryan and used it to kill his own wife inside their own bedroom.
A few times I looked and I was able to see him stabbing her, and he would stab, and other times he would hold the knife in a position how that was.
The first day of testimony ended with the au pair still on the witness stand, so that sets the table for day two. Coming up on Wednesday, we anticipate that the trial will begin promptly at 10 a.m. Juliana Perez-Miguelez will be back on the witness stand to kick things off. The prosecution will have a few more questions for her, and then it will be the defense's opportunity to cross-examine her and start to poke some holes in her narrative and in her story and try to convince the jury, from the defense's side anyway, that she is not a reliable witness. That all begins Wednesday, and we will be carrying it live on NBCWashington.com and the NBC Washington YouTube channel. In Fairfax County, Drew Wilder, News 4.
NBC News legal analyst Kristen Gibbons-Fedden joined us earlier today to talk about this first day of testimony, what the prosecution accomplished today, and what the defense accomplished during opening statements.
The prosecution had a clear job today, right? And actually, I think they delivered it. They started laying the groundwork for aggravated murder, meaning this wasn't a chaotic tragedy, which the defense is alleging, but rather it's an intentional killing with a deliberate plan and clear premeditation. So in their openings, the prosecutor did exactly what they should do. They walked the jurors through the why, the motive. Why on earth would this man want to kill his wife? Well, he was having an affair. He wanted to be with that woman, and divorce was not an option. And then the prosecutor moved into the preparation. Well, how did he plan this? Well, they came up with a scheme to set up that FetLife account using Miss Banfield's identity and luring Mr. Ryan, the second victim, and building this staged hero narrative where Mr. Banfield would run in and be the hero. And that's really how the prosecutors started the core elements to build those core elements of this case: the intent, the planning, and the causation. And instead of kind of jumping to the au pair, they actually started the trial by backing it up with neutral witnesses. The jurors heard the 911 recordings, which gave them a real-time snapshot of what was said, what wasn't said, how the reactions were. Was it calm? Was it a chaotic scene? And then the first responders and the body cam footage really locked in that scene for the prosecutors, showing that there were multiple firearms, where everyone was positioned, and what Mr. Banfield was saying and doing in those first moments. And then they had the medical examiner that talked about the multiple sharp force injuries to Miss Banfield's neck, the rapid fatality, and the evidence that she was alive long enough to swallow or aspirate her blood. That medical examiner gave similar testimony with regard to Mr. Ryan and how he was shot twice. But as you mentioned, the defense was ready for it. You know, their strongest move in the opening was that they framed it as a timeline case and attacked the investigation. And their theme was very simple. As the defense attorney said, digital forensics don't lie. So we're going to look for that. And he basically gave the message to the jury, don't convict based on a deal-driven witness, which was the au pair.
We are streaming the trial on NBCWashington.com and on our YouTube channel, and you can catch the weekly recap show called The Case, Thursday nights at 7:30 until the trial is complete. Well, there is much more to come tonight here on the News 4 Rundown, including what you can expect when you walk out the door tomorrow.
And with more clouds out there tomorrow morning, it's not going to be as cold as it was this morning, starting off with temperatures in the 40s. However, any sunshine will quickly give way to overcast skies. Rain develops later in the day. I'm timing it out after the break.
A D.C. couple has been forced apart for more than a month now, and their future together is in limbo. The husbands are a mixed status couple. Jonathan Blanco Gallegos on the left is a U.S. citizen. His husband, Elias Perez Suazo, is undocumented. Elias was detained December 10th during what they thought was supposed to be a routine annual check-in with ICE. The couple was already in the process of applying for Elias's green card. News 4's Mauricio Casillas has their story tonight.
Yes.
Sealing their commitment with a kiss. Jonathan Blanco Gallegos and Elias Perez Suazo were married here in D.C. on February 27, 2024. At the time, the idea of life apart was unthinkable. Now, it's their reality.
It feels like something from inside you, they take him away, and your life puts on pause. And I need somebody to come back and press play for me, right? But it's not going to happen.
On December 10th, Elias had a check-in with ICE at a facility in Chantilly, Virginia, which Jonathan says his husband had been doing annually. What normally would take 45 minutes, Jonathan says took several hours. As he waited for Elias in the parking lot, he realized something was wrong.
He has been detained with no reason, no excuse, no paperwork, no nothing. They just give me his stuff outside to the parking lot. An ICE agent coming out from the building and say, "Oh, are you Elias' husband?" Yes. Okay, here is his stuff. He's been in detention.
Elias is from Panama. Jonathan says his husband crossed into the U.S. without documentation in November of 2021. Jonathan says his husband was processed by immigration authorities at the Texas-Mexico border and was released on his own recognizance, allowed to go live with his sponsor in Washington, D.C., while his immigration case played out in court. Elias and Jonathan met in 2023, started dating, and eventually got married. They've started the green card application process and have made some progress. Elias's I-130 petition was approved, which is the first step needed for someone to obtain U.S. residency through a spouse or family member. But now, with Elias detained and with no clarity over if or when he'll be released, Jonathan says he's not sure that the future they pictured will come together.
I got home, my bed is empty, he's not in there, he's not cooking anymore for me. So it's so many things that your life changed, like from day to night. And my heart is broken.
Jonathan says their attorney has been seeking clarity from ICE, trying to figure out why Elias was detained and whether he's facing any charges. Jonathan claims ICE has not been responsive. News 4 reached out to the agency asking why Elias was detained. ICE sent us this statement, which states, quote, "On December 10th, ICE arrested Elias Enoch Perez Suazo, an illegal alien from Panama. He illegally crossed the border in November 2021 and was released into the U.S. by the Biden administration. He received full due process and was ordered removed by an immigration judge in November 2021 and was released into this country by the Biden administration. This administration is not going to ignore the rule of law, end quote. Jonathan shared Elias's order of release on recognizance form with News 4, which was issued by ICE. The form states Elias was placed in removal proceedings after he was initially processed by immigration authorities in November 2021. But so far, we have been unable to find out if an immigration judge has issued a deportation order for Elias. A search for Elias's case in the Executive Office for Immigration Review's online database yields 0 results. Elias's attorney denies that an immigration judge has issued a deportation order, saying that's not consistent with the documents he's reviewed in Elias's case, and argues that if such an order was actually issued, Elias would have already been deported. In the meantime, Elias's attorney filed a habeas corpus petition in federal court, which challenges Elias's detention, characterizing it as unlawful. Jonathan tells me that he fears what would happen if his husband is deported back to his home country.
It's going to be hard since Panama is not a gay-friendly country, because same-sex married couples is not allowed over there. So our life is going to be on risk.
Elias's case underscores the Trump administration's massive push to detain immigrants in ICE facilities. According to the latest data compiled by the Transactional Records Access Clearinghouse at Syracuse University, the number of people detained by ICE jumped by nearly 40,000 from 2024 to 2025. Mauricio Casillas, News 4.
In Maryland, the Montgomery County Council wants to pass legislation that would protect immigrants from ICE. It's a story our news partners at the Banner in Montgomery County have been following closely. Banner reporter Jenny Bixby is here now to discuss the potential passage of this bill. Jenny, thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
If you could, for people who don't know or aren't familiar, break down what's inside this bill and how it would help protect immigrants.
So essentially what this bill would do is legally codify something that the county, to most extent, is already doing. So, for example, the county will cooperate with ICE if federally mandated, but they don't support ICE activity without a warrant or without a judge's order. They also will not use county resources to support ICE. It is only anything that is mandated by state or federal law. Essentially, this legislation would codify that, put it in the law, and make it more than just a policy or a statement.
As with any legislation, we know the community has a chance to weigh in and speak out, to give their opinions. I understand there was some debate, and not everyone is on page with this. Can you explain who's opposed and why they're opposed to it?
Yeah, absolutely. The entire council is pretty unified on this and supporting this. As always, there were a few folks at the public hearing that aren't a big fan of this legislation, and their concerns are this not being what the county should be focusing its resources on. There's concern that enforcement of a policy like this could impact taxpayers, as is a frequent concern we hear whenever there's objection to legislation. But I think the biggest concern we heard from detractors was that this could impact the public safety. But I do think it's really important to point out that the council members sponsoring this bill have said that this protection does not apply to violent criminals or people that have in some way violated laws or could be a danger to the community. Okay,
let me ask you, so when is the council expected to vote? I know you said they were pretty unified on this, and based on that, what is the likelihood that it will pass?
I think it's pretty highly likely that some version of this will pass. It still has to go to a work session with 2 council committees. Usually in those you get some, legal changes just to make sure everything's squared away. But I think that given the strong public testimony, the vast majority of people seem to support this, and the support from the council, I think we can see this becoming law in Montgomery County.
Okay, and when again do you think we might see them take this up for a vote?
The committee is meeting at the end of the month, so I think February, probably.
February. All right. Banner reporter Jenny Bixby, thanks so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate your reporting and your insight.
Thanks for having me.
You can read Jenny's full article. It is live right now on the Banner's website. So go there and you check it out. Also, stay right there because your forecast is up next with Storm Team 4 meteorologist Amelia Draper.
After a high temperature today of 53 degrees, a similar high again tomorrow, but more clouds and rain showers will develop later in the day as a cold front moves through the area. As this front moves through, there could be a quick burst of snow, but we're not talking about any accumulation, simply conversational. More than anything on Thursday, it's blustery with winds gusting up to 30, even 35 miles an hour. And it's not just Thursday and even Friday that are cold. I have a lot of cold days in the 10-day forecast. In fact, 6 out of the next 10 days have high temperatures. Get this, only in the 30s. Right now, we're in the 40s and 50s. 47 degrees is the temperature in Washington. We start off tomorrow around 44. We warm to a high temperature of 53. So it's pretty comfortable for this time of year during the midday and afternoon hours. As we head on into the evening hours, rain showers become more likely. Here's the thing, though. Notice future weather. I'm starting you off around noon tomorrow. There could be some showers that develop in our western and mountain zones during the midday and early afternoon hours for areas like Frederick, Leesburg, Hagerstown, Winchester, and Warrenton. You see that here, especially heading on into the later afternoon hours. By the evening hours, 8, 9, 10 o'clock, rain is likely in the metro area. Notice a little bit of snow on the backside of this rain around midnight tomorrow. Again, it's not sticking to the roads. It's not leading to any accumulation. It's just showing how cold the air is that moves in behind this frontal system. And this says it all. Looking at the wind chills on Thursday morning, 7 a.m., we have wind chill temperatures in the single digits and teens. Even during the lunchtime hours, at best, Thursday afternoon and evening, it will feel like temperatures are near 20 degrees. Friday, it's colder. We start off with a temperature around 20 degrees, and we'll have wind chills during the morning hours on Friday in the single digits and teens, with a high on Thursday of 33. Friday, a high temperature of 35. Saturday is seasonable, but here's the thing, Sean. A storm system moves through the area Saturday night. That brings in reinforcing cold air for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. High temperatures running 10 degrees, at least 10 degrees below normal. So this 10-day forecast, man, just has a lot of cold air in it.
A lot of cold air. I wish we could give it back, but I guess it's here to stay at least for a little while.
Yes, it is.
All right. Thanks, Amelia. We'll be right back. Team USA's Chloe Kim is ready to compete in next month's Winter Olympics. The 25-year-old snowboarder told her Instagram followers today that she is good to go for the Milan Cortina Games. She was training ahead of a competitive event in Switzerland last week and fell on the halfpipe. She revealed she tore her labrum and added the injury is not as severe as she initially thought. Thank goodness. She said she won't be able to snowboard, though, until right before the Olympics. But we know she will still do a great job. All right, with the Winter Olympics less than a month away, our Tommy McFly is once again trying to keep up with the athletes. This week, Tommy tries it. He's in Lake Placid, New York, with the fan favorite, hockey.
Hey, we're getting ready for another season of Tommy Tries It ahead of the Milan Cortina Olympics. You might have heard it's coming to NBC4. So we came to Lake Placid to bring you Olympic action. This is a home of world-class venues and so much Olympic American Team USA history, like the Miracle on Ice in 1980 when Team USA beat the Soviets and went on to win the gold medal. That was huge. Sports Illustrated called it the biggest event in sports in the 20th century. And a little closer to home, we got some gold medal action of ourselves. We learned hockey from Olympic gold medalist Haley Skarupa.
Hello.
She also was the chief scout for Team USA women's hockey.
You got the gear?
Oh, let's do it.
So you'll start with the shin guards. You'll put your hockey socks on over your shin guards. Then you'll put your pants on. Next are the shoulder pads, elbow pads, jersey over that, helmet, gloves, stick. Did I say skates? You'll also need skates.
Good to go?
Yeah, let's get out there.
Yeah.
You know, the Olympics, we say it's not every 4 years, it's every single day. So do you want to start with like face-offs? Or do you
I want to start with stopping.
Stopping, okay.
How do we do that?
So for stopping, it's, you know, you start your skating forward in a forward motion and you turn both your feet, your legs, your hips sideways and you dig your blades into the ice. People, when they start skating, they don't know how to stop. They can fly around and they're just crashing. Nice. He was able to stop pretty much immediately, which is uncommon. Yeah, he's good. To catch a pass, if it's like in your feet, you slide through here, but shooting, the power comes from pushing down. The stick handling comes from up.
So you're on the ice. You're playing in a world event. What's it like to score in that moment?
It's the best feeling in the world. You know, like you're with your line mates, your teammates, everyone's on the bench going crazy, your fans, family, friends who are there, and it's like a relief, but also just such like an exciting feeling and moment.
I think I'm ready to chase that dream, chase that feeling.
Let's do it.
Out to the right, out to the left. Yeah! Yeah! Woo-hoo! Yeah! Whoa! Yeah!
That's what Ovechkin looked like when he broke the record.
That's exactly what it feels like. I think I understand now. Thanks, Haley.
Puck drop is where the game starts. Kind of want to like cheat it to then win. It's like whoever has the faster reaction time. We didn't have a ref to drop it, so we just did it Mighty Duck style. 1, 2, 3. Oh, let's see. I didn't let him win. That was real. Do you want to do like defense, like a line rush, I guess?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let me try to defend against gold medalist Haley Skarupa.
Oh, do you want to be D or do you want me?
Totally, I'll be D.
Okay.
How do I D?
How do I D? Do you know how to skate backwards?
Yeah.
When he said that, I was like, he can probably skate. I respect D a lot, so. Because like the forwards coming in with a lot of speed, you have to be just as good of a skater backwards as they are forwards.
Wow.
So like they come in wide, players like to come in.
Oh, I left you wide open.
Woo! I wanted him to get the motion down and understand, you know, the spacing, so I wasn't going full speed.
I'm going where you aren't, so I'm trying to go over here, over here.
Yeah, spin. All right. Oh no!
Oh no, she's not even trying. Hey!
There it is, 1 for 1. I did let him win one, which was the one that he did win, but confidence is key in this sport, so I felt that was important. That's bad D right there.
She's going easy on me.
When he said, don't take it easy on me, is when we picked it up a little bit.
Here you go.
He should work on puck protection. Yeah, it was just out there, so it was easy to to grab. Woo! Woohoo!
I liked it better when we were on the same team.
He's a natural. I think if he put in some time out there, he could really make something of himself.
Skarupa to McFly. McFly back to Skarupa. Skarupa back, and it's goal! Now you know a little bit what it's like to play at the top of the world. Haley Skarupa, thank you so much. So the reason I got to come to Lake Placid was to take on all these sports. We're talking ski jump, bobsled, luge, a couple bumps and bruises along the way, but we're going to bring you them every Tuesday and Thursday, 4 o'clock here on NBC4, and then right before the opening ceremony is a half-hour special. That's going to be Friday on February 6th, 7:30, bringing you all the excitement so you know what to watch for when you're watching the Olympics. Back to you.
Thank you, Tommy. He looks like he had a lot of fun out there. The Winter Olympics, can you believe it? 23 days away. NBC4 is your passport to Milan Cortina. News 4's Jumio Labanji will be there live, bringing you all the excitement and all the action from Italy. You can watch it all live right here on NBC4 starting February 6th. And that will do it for the News 4 Rundown tonight. NBA on NBC is coming up next. It's a big matchup tonight between two of the best teams in the West. We're talking about the Oklahoma City Thunder taking on the San Antonio Spurs. Who will win? You got to tune in and watch the NBA here on NBC. And then make sure you stick around after the game. Join Jim Handley and me. We will be right back here for News 4 at 11. Have a great night, everybody.